Now at 9, one of the busiest roads in the 4 states reopens.
Yet another deadly shooting in the United States claiming lives just before the Thanksgiving holiday. I'm Lauren Blanchard in Chesapeake, Virginia. I'll have the latest on the Walmart shooting.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan. I'll be just in time for peak shopping season. Construction wraps up on one of the 4 states' busiest streets. The new Rangeline Road Bridge is now open to traffic more than a month ahead of schedule. The original bridge over Kansas City's Southern Railroad closed in early September for demolition. The new bridge is high and wider than the one it replaced. It also has new sidewalks on either side. This opening is welcome news for a lot of motorists and Rangeline businesses. MoDOT says, on average, the old bridge carried more than 24,000 vehicles a day. What started as an idea for a small automotive shop has helped families in need for 2 years running now. KOAM's Carrie Worthen is in Joplin with more on this story.
I am capable of doing it on my own. I don't have to rely on anybody else.
The low-cost vehicle program is through Higher Power Garage and is directed towards families that are without transportation.
We started the program not too long after we opened in 2020, so it's a little over 2 years now. And we've been able to provide about 33 cars to this point. And we've seen some pretty big impacts from it.
Jillian Radcliffe is a single mother of 2 and one of the families to receive a vehicle through the low-cost vehicle program.
I can go to work now. I can take my kids to the park. That's a big thing that's hindered us, is that we can't just go to the park freely.
Applicants who get accepted have requirements before they can get a vehicle. They have to have a job working a minimum of 30 hours a week, along with a budget showing they can afford the car. Also attending classes about basic auto maintenance and budgeting. Then lastly, they have to write an impact letter explaining how the vehicle will change their life.
I didn't know you could budget your money to save in case of an emergency.
Now I know how to change a tire. Now I know how to check my oil. I mean, it's really the basic necessities to have a vehicle. I learned.
Each participant has to pay $500 for a vehicle, and each vehicle is donated through various donors. Arvest Bank donated a check for $5,000 to go towards the program.
I want them to know that they're in charge of their destiny, that they can and move forward in their lives, that they're not stuck in the position that they're in.
It's just amazing what God has done. This is truly a blessing, and I'm very grateful for it.
There's a waiting list for families, but the mothers say it's worth the wait. In Joplin, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
High Power Garage offers basic vehicle maintenance classes to people 15 years and up. If you're interested in taking classes, donating, or hearing the mothers' full stories, you can go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Meteorologist Doug Heddy joining us now. First look at the forecast. Some spotty sprinkles out there today.
Yeah, we've had some very light little showers kind of on and off throughout the evening hours. Not too much is going on right now, but that's going to change as we go through the next few hours. Looking outside, we made it to 60, pretty good. Normal high is 55 for this time of the year. Most of us are still sitting into the mid 50s across the board, and those light showers we had earlier, those have streamed up into kind of central parts of Missouri. Still a few spotty little showers across the region, but most of us are dry. But this is really going to pick up. Look at the moisture. East central parts of Oklahoma, this is heading right up I-44 into the area as we go through the overnight hours tonight. So showers picking up through the night, even some moderate showers along and south of I-44, especially after midnight into the morning hours. So it is going to be a wet start on Thanksgiving for most of us. Northwestern counties, just a lot of clouds. Of course, we're going to break this entire holiday weekend down here in just a bit.
Doug, thank you. As we gear up for Thanksgiving, Webb City is hosting a Thanksgiving farmers market. KOAM's Sugun Belmadelli was at the market.
This annual event happens on the last Wednesday before Thanksgiving. It allows people to shop last minute for fresh produce. The market sees around 300 to 400 people in 4 hours.
Our community comes to shop at a farmer's market because they understand that the money they're spending here is going to stay in their community. This supports the local small farms in our area and the local bakeries as well, not to mention apiaries with the bees and honey and other locally produced foods.
Lynch says the food from the farmers market are harvested the day before.
Of course, it's just fresh, nutritious food. You aren't going to find foods that were picked weeks ago. These are items that are harvested the day or the day before they're brought to market, making them much better for us.
I spoke to 2 market vendors who tell me people have faith in local products.
The money goes directly to the farmer as opposed to having a middleman come in to take a part of that cut. But really, it's about the relationships that have been built over the years and knowing and trusting your farmer and people that provide all this good food and really knowing where it comes from.
In the stores, you get a lot of what we call feedlot grown meats, feedlot beef or feedlot pork or barn raised animals. All of our animals that we raise are raised on pasture. We raise as natural as possible. All of our beef is 100% grass fed. Our hogs are out on pasture all the time. They never see a barn. They're raised as natural as possible.
Reporting in Webb City, Segun Bamidele, KOAM News.
Farmers Market is open on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Before you give thanks, give blood. That's the slogan Community Blood Center of the Ozarks used for today's Thanks for Giving blood drive. Participants who donated blood, plasma, or platelets were entered into a drawing to win a brand new iPhone 14.
We always need blood, but around the holidays, especially if we shut down for a day, we'll often do promotions and encourage donors to come in and help us out since we're going to be closed down, to make sure we have that coverage that we need.
Donors also had the chance to receive a free Kansas City Chief t-shirt. Donors could also fill out an entry form to win not 1, but 2 tickets and parking passes to the Chiefs game against the Broncos on January 1st. Missouri Governor Mike Parson today announced the state's next Attorney General. That man right there, Andrew Bailey. Parson is appointing Bailey to take over the former position of Eric Schmidt, who was elected to the U.S. Senate. Bailey currently serves as general counsel to the governor's office. He's also served as the state's assistant attorney general. Investigators now searching for answers in connection with a deadly shooting inside a Walmart in Virginia. We're being told a store manager opened fire on co-workers, leaving at least 6 people dead. Just the latest mass shooting in the U.S., this one, of course, taking place right before the Thanksgiving holiday. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard has these details from Chesapeake, Virginia.
A deadly attack and a nightmare scenario for shoppers and employees inside this Walmart. Now police are trying to figure out the gunman's motive. Dramatic video capturing the aftermath of a deadly shooting at a Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia.
I saw another person's body come out in a shopping cart.
Police say a store manager identified as 31-year-old Andre Bing opened fire in the break room Tuesday night, striking co-workers before turning the gun on himself. The shooting left at least 6 people dead and at least 6 others taken to the hospital with injuries.
It's a lot to process. You know, these are people in our community whose lives were cut short the day before Thanksgiving. It's heartbreaking.
The mother of one of the victims spoke about what her son went through.
He saw people on the ground. He said he had to, kind of jump over them just trying to save himself and get to the front of the store.
The attack taking place a week and a half after a gunman shot and killed 3 University of Virginia football players, and just days after a mass shooting in Colorado that left 5 dead.
These just stark reminders of senseless, violent crime, and so much of it is really a moment to reflect on the state of mind of America and Virginia.
Police expect the investigation to last for days. President Biden reached out to Governor Youngkin to offer support and federal assistance. In Chesapeake, Virginia, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Colorado Springs community facing a new reality after Saturday's fatal nightclub shooting. The alleged gunman appearing in front of a judge today. Fox News correspondent Gary Tenney has more.
The person accused of killing 5 people and injuring more than a dozen others at a Colorado nightclub made their first court appearance on Wednesday. Anderson Lee Aldrich appeared via video from the El Paso County Jail after being released from the hospital. According to defense lawyers, Aldrich is non-binary. The 22-year-old faces possible murder and hate crime charges. They're being held without bond.
All available potential charges we will be reviewing and make the appropriate filing decisions. I'm looking at evidence of what occurred here.
Police say Aldrich entered Club Q Saturday night armed with an AR-style weapon and immediately began shooting. 2 patrons quickly jumped into action and subdued Aldrich until officers arrived.
everybody in there became family. It was the team.
As investigators work to determine a motive, new details are emerging about the alleged gunman's past. Last year, Aldrich was arrested after reportedly threatening their mother with a homemade bomb. At the time, authorities found no explosives and the case was never prosecuted. But this Colorado Springs community says more should have been done. And after Saturday's shooting, people say their sense of safety has been shattered.
This is a place where I can come with friends and just hang out in a safe place and be who I was and enjoy the company of other members of the LGBTQ community.
Police say those who survived the shooting face a very long recovery. I'm Garrett Tenney, Fox News.
KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor another four-state hero. Thomas Beckett Sr. served in the U.S. Army from 1942 to 45. A native of Monette, Missouri, Beckett was stationed in the Pacific, earning several awards. We are proud to thank and salute Staff Sergeant Thomas Beckett Sr., tonight's four-state hero. Doug Henry's next with a complete look at the forecast. He's coming back a little bit later, actually. Coming up, tighter holiday travel budgets.
This is shaping up to be the third busiest Thanksgiving travel season in history. I'm Jeff Flock with the Fox Business Network, headed for the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Not going to be pretty out on the roads. Full story in a moment.
So, one thing people are not thankful for this Thanksgiving, high gas prices, right? Fox Business correspondent Jeff Flock is driving along the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
We are out here on Route 76, just off the Pennsylvania Turnpike in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. And as perhaps you can see, the road here, just like many roads this Thanksgiving holiday, kind of jammed up. Yeah, take a look at the numbers. According to AAA, 54 million people, planes, trains, and automobiles this Thanksgiving holiday. That makes it the third busiest on record, approaching the pre-pandemic levels. 49 million of those will go by car, that despite the high gas prices. Yeah, right now we have the highest gas prices for Thanksgiving that we have ever had in U.S. history. $3.60 the average gallon of regular right now nationwide. That is down 3 cents in the last day and about 15 cents in the last week. But still, despite that, still relatively high this time of the year. AAA, though, says we don't seem to mind. We're finding the way to pay for the gas to get where we want to go.
We are seeing inflation, we're seeing higher gas prices, but that's not holding people back from travel. We're seeing people make adjustments to their budget in other areas, perhaps dining out less or not shopping as much.
And speaking of inflation, there seems to be no way around it this Thanksgiving. Airfares up 22% if you want to go by air, and if you have to stay at a hotel, those rates are up about 17%. But we're on the way. Over the river, through the woods, and down Route 76 to grandmother's house or whoever's house on this Thanksgiving holiday. I'm Jeff Flock with the Fox Business Network in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania.
Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast and later how scientists and architects changing buildings so they can better withstand weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be kind of a raw, nasty day outside today. Cloudy skies and then some light showers kind of rolling through during the evening hours, and that's what we're going to see tonight. Clouds sticking around, even a few showers starting to pick up just a bit. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Indigo just outside of Seneca, Missouri. It's cloudy. Most of us are dry right now, but we are going to start to see these showers picking up. Any showers we had earlier have raced across north central Missouri, but you can see them picking up in our southern counties. A few little showers out from Mount Vernon. Way better. Mount Vernon, Monette down toward Cassville. Yeah, I'm good, man. But look at the rain starting to increase across east central Oklahoma, down through parts of Texas. That is going to head in our direction as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. At least temperatures are above freezing, so we don't have to worry about any frozen precip across the region. If we go outside, 7th and range line 55. Southerly winds at about 5 to 10. Humidity is at 69%. Through the rest of the night, we slide back upper 40s. Rain really increases, especially after midnight. On and off showers throughout the morning hours for us tomorrow, as this is the beginnings of this next storm system. So it's pulling up the Gulf of Mexico moisture, and it's going to combine with this storm system out across the eastern parts of the Rockies. You can see it spinning right across southern parts of Wyoming into Colorado, and it takes a deep dive all the way down into western Texas. Now, here's the jet stream. So when these are separated, it's a cutoff low. It's cut off from the jet stream. So it doesn't have anything to kick it along. So it just kind of slowly meanders, sits out in Texas for a couple days, and then slowly starts to push in. But it never even passes by until Saturday night and Sunday morning. Once it gets closer to us, that's when our best chances for rain will be. All right, for Thanksgiving, see how the rain chances shoot way up. Here's 3 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 a.m., noon, and then they trail off as we go into the afternoon. So at least we'll be drier as we get into the afternoon. Look at the rain really increasing. Here's midnight, showers, even a few rumbles of thunder, especially along and south of I-44. So this is into the morning hours. Heaviest rain starts to advance east by noon, still some light showers, and then just a hit and miss shower or two as we go through the afternoon, especially along and south of I-44. Now, if you live out in our northwestern counties, you're going to stay dry for Thanksgiving. As we go into tomorrow night, we actually break up the clouds a little bit. So partly cloudy skies and then partly sunny skies on Friday, and then that main upper level low will start to work back in, and that's when our better rain chances will be by the time we head into late Friday and Saturday. All right, 53 tomorrow, 54 on Friday, 47 Saturday with rain lasting into Sunday morning. A lot of people traveling home over the weekend. Sunny skies on Monday, rain back in Tuesday and Wednesday. In our second half hour, we'll kind of break down the second part of this system moving through over the weekend.
You know, minus the rain, you can't complain about it, really. I mean,
everybody's going to be inside eating turkey, watching football anyway.
Yeah. We'll see you in a little bit. Thanks so much, Doug. Coming up, more resilience to weather.
The climate crisis is giving our cities a run for their money. I'm Marianne Rafferty with the possible solutions architects are calling for. That's coming up.
Scientists are warning the U.S. is going to become the target of more frequent natural disasters. This as climate change continues worsening, with severe weather events already testing the limits of cities and modern infrastructure across the country. Fox News correspondent Marianne Rafferty has the latest on what architects say can be done to help cities combat this climate crisis.
From massive wildfires to hazardous hurricanes, flooding, and more, a new report from the nonprofit group Rebuild by Design reveals 90% of U.S. counties were hit by natural disasters over the last decade, with California, Iowa, Mississippi, Oklahoma, and Tennessee listed as the states suffering the most catastrophes between 2011 and last year. But as erratic weather patterns are made worse by climate change, a growing number of architects say many of our cities aren't built to withstand the escalating environmental impacts.
The way we are designing cities, we're displacing natural vegetation and replacing it with huge amounts of impervious surfaces. All that impervious surfaces goes to increase flooding, temperatures.
With builders calling for climate-responsive designs to combat these ongoing threats.
Design strategies that we can use at the architectural and urban design perspective in order to both mitigate and adapt to climate change.
But these struggles aren't just native to cities in the U.S. In China, architects say climate change is causing industrialized cities to fail as they buckle under bouts of extreme flooding and drought.
We need a new model, a new way.
The solution could lie in what's being called sponge cities, pits made from layers of volcanic rock designed to quickly absorb water and hold it below the ground, preventing flash flooding in vulnerable neighborhoods. In the U.S., the National Centers for Environmental Information reports disasters last year cost more than $150 billion in damages. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
Big balloons going up. Must be time for the Big Parade in NYC. A visit to the Big Apple next. It's an annual tradition ahead of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Look, you got a dinosaur there. Smokey the Bear, looks like. Bowling pins. Inflating the giant balloons for the parade happens today near the Museum of Natural History on Manhattan's Upper West Side. Smurf there, right there. This year's balloons, among them, include Baby Yoda, SpongeBob SquarePants, and the Pillsbury Doughboy. I didn't do that well, I know. All right, this is pretty cool. Today marks the 65th anniversary of when How the Grinch Stole Christmas was released. The classic holiday story was, of course, written by Dr. Seuss and was originally published in 1957. It's since been adapted into movies, animated specials, and a musical. The Grinch has also been featured on several products, including Skechers shoes. It's just a walk down memory lane for me because my mom used to read the book to me when I was little, that very book. It's funny because no matter how much newer technology, for my family anyway, no matter how much newer technology makes newer Christmas cartoons, you gotta watch the original Grinch cartoon, right? At least for me, anyway. It's a legend, just like Clark Griswold. 30 more minutes news, weather, and sports coming away. Gonna hear from local shoppers as they prepare for Black Friday shopping.
A deadly terror attack hitting Jerusalem on Wednesday, and police are investigating who did it. I'm Jeff Paul in London. I've got the details coming up.
So Thanksgiving is tomorrow, and some residents are already ready for the big day after Black Friday, of course. The National Retail Federation predicts this could be the busiest holiday shopping season they've recorded since 2017. KOAM's Yana Atala found out how some Pittsburgh shoppers are preparing for holiday shopping.
According to the National Retail Federation, more than 166 million people are planning to shop from Thanksgiving Day through Cyber Monday. That's almost 8 million more than last year. While some prefer to go in the store.
Going in the stores with maybe my parents or something and seeing what's on the stock shelves and everything.
Others access the sales from home.
They have more options of maybe, just different clothing or just anything or sizes. That's another thing.
Olivia Butler and Madison Newling stopped by the Pittsburgh Mall to check out what the stores have to offer before Black Friday. Newling predicts a lot of sale items will go fast.
Devices like the consoles too are going to be sold out, and there's going to be a lot of problems ordering stuff too.
In-store shoppers are not afraid of long waiting lines if they can get to stores, which may have things that seem to be sold out online.
But sometimes it lies, and then you go there and then there's a whole stock shelf of it, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Being in a crowded store can be too much for some.
There can be some difficulties with maybe paying it, or just even standing in the line too long, maybe gets you too tired, or just anything. It's really nice to just do it online and then you get it shipped in time.
But customer service is also a big plus in store.
It's just someone helping you either online, you order it and it comes to your house and it's 4 sizes down her size. So I like that about in-store shopping because there's people that can help you.
Janna Hautala, KOAM News.
Both Newland and Butler say they don't really have specific plans for stores, and that includes whether they shop online or in person. He's back. Yeah, the Christmas guy in red was at Joplin's North Park Mall today, and I missed him. Santa Claus himself has set up his workshop in the JCPenney court. Kids can visit Santa at different times throughout the day, 7 days a week until Christmas Eve. So there's hope for me, right? I can go some other time. That way, he's going to have enough time to make sure all of the gifts are ready to hand out around the globe.
There's a reason for the season, and the idea of showing the people that we love that we do love them, that's what it's about. So it's the season of love. There's a reason that we give gifts to each other, and I like to be a part of it.
If you were wondering that gentleman's real name, are you crazy? We're not going to ruin stuff. It's Santa Claus. The mall will also host pet photo nights with Santa starting next Monday. Jerusalem was hit hard by 2 explosions today, killing a 15-year-old and wounding at least 18 others with 3 critical condition. Fox News correspondent Jeff Paul has more from London.
It's the type of terror attack not seen in years. 2 explosions hit Jerusalem during the busy morning commute on Wednesday, killing a 15-year-old boy and hurting at least 18 others. Police say it was an attack by Palestinians, though they're still looking for who's responsible.
They can run, they can hide, it won't help them. The security forces will reach them. If they resist, they will be thwarted.
Both bombs were planted inside bags that were left at bus stops. They were packed with nails and other metal objects to increase the number of casualties. Israeli officials say that differs from the lone wolf-style attacks they've seen in recent years.
It is clear that it is something more complex. This was not something done by inspiration. This is not somebody who decided one morning to carry out an attack.
The White House says it's monitoring the situation closely, writing in a statement, quote, "The United States has offered all appropriate assistance to the government of Israel as it investigates the attack and works to bring the perpetrators to justice. But it won't be easy to calm tensions. Violence between Israelis and Palestinians has been ratcheting up for months, and a growing number of officials are saying it's time to get tough on terrorism.
We still have a fight with brutal terror that is raising its head again, and we will do everything possible to restore security to all citizens of Israel.
No terror groups have claimed responsibility, though Hamas is praising the attacks. In London, Jeff Paul, Fox News.
A bit later, a look at the popular toys for Christmas that will not break the budget.
Well, we've had some on and off showers out there as we have worked through the evening hours, which we are going to continue to see as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. If we look outside, you can see one batch that rolled through earlier this evening and now starting to pick back up again. Southwestern Missouri, northeast Oklahoma, and then into northwestern parts of Arkansas. So this will increase as we go through the next few hours. Few little showers, Jasper County. And once you get in southern Delaware and then into Benton County, really picking up. Look at this moisture increasing east central Oklahoma all the way down through parts of Texas. And this is all going to head toward us as we go through the overnight hours. This is the Gulf of Mexico moisture, which has been heading toward us. But the main system back to our northwest, right across the eastern parts of the Rockies. So these two will combine as we go through the next few days. You can see the big upper level low, which, watch what happens. It dips all the way down into western Texas, cut off from the jet. So it slowly heads toward us. Friday, Saturday, doesn't even pass by until Sunday. And that's when we're actually going to have our heaviest rain is Saturday into Saturday night as that upper level low pushes by. With this first half of the system, here's midnight, 3 a.m., 6, 9, noon. You can see our chances trail off as we go into tomorrow afternoon. All right, let's go through time. Now, if you live in our northwestern county, Chanute, Fredonia, Neodesha, Yates Center, Iola, Humboldt, you don't really get much of any rain from this batch. It's mainly along south of I-44, but some heavy amounts of rain south of Interstate 44. So this is tomorrow morning, heaviest rain out of here by late morning. Then we just kind of go into light hit and miss showers through the afternoon. Tomorrow evening, look at the clouds. They start to break up a bit, partly cloudy skies. And then it looks pretty good for Friday, partly sunny. And then once we get into Friday night, here come the clouds again. This is going to be the main system that actually works through the region. All right, day planner for Thanksgiving, 49 in the morning, 52, most of our showers in the morning, cloudy in the afternoon. High temp, only 53 degrees. Let's go into Saturday. Here comes the rain again. Mid to late morning into the afternoon. This is going to be widespread. This will affect our northwestern counties. Periods of showers all day long through the night. And then finally, we'll start to roll out of here by the time we head into Sunday morning. So rainfall totals, including tonight, not a whole bunch. Heaviest along and south of I-44. But you add in the second part of the system and it looks a lot better. A lot of areas a half an inch to an inch, isolated 2-inch amounts by Saturday night. 53 tomorrow, 54 Friday, only 47 on Saturday, 50 on Sunday. Drying out Monday, more rain moving in next Tuesday and Wednesday. So yeah, I am rain-wise, not the best holiday weekend, but boy, do we need the rain.
Yeah, and you know what? At least it's not ice, right?
True. Could be.
Oh, man. All right, Doug, thanks so much. Coming up in sports, Pittsburgh State Gorillas preparing for their second round showdown against the national defending champions. Plus, a local boxer aims for a 4-0 start to his professional career. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
The Pittsburgh State Gorillas are still alive in the Division II national playoffs. The Gorillas will be in action in round 2 on Saturday on the road against Ferris State. Now, the Gorillas 12-0 so far this season. On the other side, Ferris State is 10-1, with their only loss coming to undefeated Grand Valley State. Pittsburgh State won their playoff opener last week, shutting out Indianapolis 35-0. It was their first shutout of the season, and a great way to grab some momentum before facing the defending national champs.
There's always a little bit of an unknown when you play somebody new for the first time, and how do they really match up, and how do their opponents match up with what we've seen. And so you're trying to gauge really how they stack up. And but for us to go out there and compete and play like we did, I thought was a good statement for sure.
It definitely gives us a lot of momentum rolling into round 2. We're going to play another high-powered offense. They got a really good bunch of receivers and skill guys. They're doing a lot of stuff, motions, eye candy, kind of get you off of your game, try to confuse you. They're really big up front. They try to pound the rock, spread you out, just do, almost everything they can to kind of manipulate you and, try to find success.
The Missouri Southern women's basketball team is at home tonight taking on Missouri S&T. The Lions are 5-0 this season and have climbed to number 10 in this week's national rankings. Southern tries to stay rolling and get to 6-0 tonight against the Miners. First quarter, Maddie Stokes working on the block, gets the hook shot to go. Later in the quarter, Amaya Johns, same spot. She finishes with 10 points, 7 boards. Lions up 8 after the first. The second quarter, Stokes back to work. And the foul, 10-4 tonight for Stokes. Then before half, Lacey Stokes finds Chrislyn Jones in the corner. One move, pull-up jumper. More from Jones in a minute. Then Lane Skiles, top of the key. One of her 2 threes tonight. Southern leads 35-28 at the break. They would pull away in the second half. Lacey Stokes, 7 assists. Here's one of them, Chrislyn Jones. Knocks it down. She leads the way with 18 points. Southern gets to 6-0, winning this one 73-50. In Pittsburgh, home opener tonight for the Pittsburgh State women, hosting the St. Mary's Spires. Corinna Gerber, hot start to this one. Finishes with the left there. Then Gerber drives and finishes. Big double-double for Corinna Gerber. 23 points, 10 rebounds. Later, Tristan Gegg, corner 3. She scores 13 tonight. Then, the freshman, Harper Schreiner, fights through the contact here, scores and the foul. Gorillas up 12 after the free throw. Jenna Shipley, nice night for her. Drives, fadeaway jumper. 14 points in the first half for Shipley. She finishes with a career-high 20. Then in the second quarter, sophomore Grace Pyle steps out, hits the 3. Pyle adds 18 points, 8 boards. Gorillas roll in their home opener 95-63. Well, local boxer Theron Crouch will be back in the ring on December 3rd, fighting at Buffalo Run Casino. Crouch is aiming to get to 4-0 in his pro career after winning each of his first 3 fights by knockout. This time around, it'll be the toughest fight yet for Crouch. He'll step in the ring with Erasmo Garcia, a guy who is 10 fights into his career, entering this one with a 5-3-2 overall record.
When we started looking for opponents, started getting names sent to us, our main goal was someone with experience. I'm 3 fights in the boxing world. Not a lot of people take those fights with people that are a little scary, and that's exactly who we asked for. We wanted someone with about 10 fights. This guy has 3 times as many fights as me, 9 times the amount of rounds, and I was like, perfect, sign me up. I'm not here for a long time, I'm here for a good time. So I'm trying to climb the ladder as fast as I can, and the only way to do that is to fight these OGs, these guys that are veterans of the sport. They've been through it. Not a lot of fighters at my point take this fight, but I fear regret a lot more than I do losing. So I'm ready to roll.
And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
With the holiday shopping season ramping up this week, Toy Insider is here to help parents and gift givers score the hottest toys for every kiddo on their list without breaking the bank. Here's Fox's Kristen Goodman with the story.
The Toy Insider has curated the hottest toys that will be on every kid's wish list this Christmas. But with inflation and everyone coming out of the pandemic economy, they know people will be shopping on a budget.
Although we are recommending that consumers prepare to spend at least 15% more on toys, we have plenty of options on all of our lists that are under $50 or under $100.
The Hot 20 list includes something for kids of all ages.
Starting with our littlest ones with the VTech Level Up gaming chair, which provides role play and educational entertainment, as well as the Ruckus FX, which it gets kids up and active in gaming and music mixing. Plus, we have things that are inspired by influencers and kids' favorite characters, like the Addison Rae musical fashion doll.
The 12 under 20 provides plenty of options, all under $20.
You'll find collectibles like Kittens vs. Gherkins, which are mini versions of kids' favorite Cats versus Pickles characters. You'll find cool things like the Express My Feelings journal from Hand to Mind, which lets kids really engage in that social emotional learning and learn how to cope with their own emotions. And you'll also see things like Play Foam Naturals from Educational Insight, which is a really fun tactile compound that's also eco-friendly.
And kids can learn as they play with toys from the STEM 10 list.
They can do this through activity kits like Crayola's Critter Creator, which allows them to make their own fossils in this kit and get really creative. They can do this through building up their own blasters, like the Ultra Bionic Blaster from Thames and Cosmos. And they can also create and learn how marble runs work with sets like Trestle Tracks from Fat Brain Toys.
In Hollywood, Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
All right, coming up, what's new to those DVDs and at-home streaming options? DVD and digital releases this week includes Two Men with Commitment Problems, An Army of Elite Female Warriors, and more. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with a list of new releases.
It's our little secret.
The first gay rom-com from a major movie studio tops this week's list of what's new in home entertainment. Bros, co-written and starring Billy Eichner, follows two commitment-phobic gay men whose undeniable attraction to each other turns into something serious.
I feel like myself with you. Usually I only feel like myself when I have a drink in my hand.
Sigourney Weaver and Kevin Kline star in the romantic drama The Good House. Weaver plays a successful realtor forced to face her drinking problem and confront her past as she rekindles a romance with an old flame. A 12-year-old gymnast is hiding a monstrous secret in the Finnish supernatural horror film Hatching.
Some things are worth fighting for.
Available only on digital, the historical epic The Woman King stars Oscar winner Viola Davis as a fictional 19th century general of the African kingdom of Dahomey, who leads a formidable all-female army to battle against European invaders. The film will be available on Blu-ray and DVD December 13th.
Let's go on a move.
Elvis Presley's beloved 1961 classic Blue Hawaii makes its debut on 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray.
Those aren't pillows.
The comedy classic Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, starring Steve Martin and John Candy, celebrates its 35th anniversary with a 4K Ultra HD remastered release.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Peacemaker?
And small screen favorites available to own. HBO Max's hit DC action comedy series Peacemaker stars John Cena as the costumed vigilante from the Suicide Squad trying to save the world with a new team. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
35 years for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. No doubt that's classic. That's our time for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Going to leave you tonight with video of lemurs at the Brookfield Zoo enjoying a Thanksgiving feast. No doubt. Hey, I will see you tomorrow, but in the meantime, I hope each one of you has a meaningful Thanksgiving Day feast of yourselves. Be safe. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.